What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome to Found Footage Fridays, the series where we talk found footage on Fridays. As you guys should know by now, Mike and I are ramping up for our massive first annual The Sacred Crypt Awards, which is live tomorrow, potentially on all the social medias, but primarily for sure on YouTube. So we are still getting things done, edited, practicing, getting ready, and just trying to also stay on top of content, which is very difficult when you have all these other wonderfully fun things going on. So I thought I would step in for this week and do another top 5 found footage list. So this kind of stems from a movie I literally just watched yesterday that I can't stop seeing love for, which we'll get to that one on the list. Just a reminder, if you guys are interested in checking out the Sacred Crypt Awards, they will be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is already available on YouTube. You can set a reminder, go to it if you'd like. We will not be answering comments during the live. It is going to be a very formal, very hopefully realistic experience, but we will have our dear friend Tasha editing and interacting and kind of managing the comment side of things. I don't know what she's going to be editing. I don't know why I said that. I meant just managing in general, because she was kind enough to step in to agree to do that. But we hope to see you guys there. We are so excited about this. We have been working so hard for months to get this set, and this has been a crazy week as we're getting ready to finally actually do it. So, all right, without further ado, let's jump into my top 5 list of what I'm going to be talking about today. So I decided, because of a movie I just watched last night that I'm now completely obsessed with, that I would do my top 5 found footage mockumentary favorites. May upset some people to know Mungo is not on the list. Not because I don't love it, but just because I think there are some that I just really appreciate a lot more. There's going to be 2 on here that are going to have some overlap. I've talked about them and they make other lists before, but they're that good. I'm not going to omit them just because I've talked about them before. And hey, you could be a first-time viewer having never seen our previous list and you haven't heard of these movies. So it's always worth revisiting when it's the ones that I really, really love. All right, so they're in no particular order, and as all of my list rules go, this is likely to change at any time, but these are just the 5 that when I think about mockumentary style horror movies, which is a subgenre of found footage, I think that these are movies worth talking about, and they need all of the love and attention. So the first one on my list is going to be Ghost Watch. If you don't know the history of Ghost Watch, it's really, really cool. Ghost Watch is from the 90s. It's a television show that essentially is doing a spooky version of news on Halloween, and things go awry. The thing about Ghost Watch is Ghost Watch was not shown at the time as fiction. Many people believed it was real. It was the people that they saw on the news all the time. So they thought it was real. They believed it, and it caused, some panic. But it's a beautifully done take on mockumentary. And of course, it's got the Halloween vibes going on, but it's this really kind of sad ghost story. And you learn, about the family that's experiencing the stuff, and it goes really crazy. And it just goes into some really fun directions. At the time that I first watched Ghost Watch, it was interesting because I did it for a Cursed Films episode back in the day when only 2 people watched my videos. And, now it's 4 people. And so when I watched it for the first time, it wasn't anywhere. I had to find it on the web, and I had to go to some link. Thankfully, I didn't give my computer a virus, and I was able to watch it. And since then, it's been on Shudder. It's been more readily available, but it was banned for a long time. The British network, you couldn't watch it. It was a whole thing. So I highly recommend taking that deep dive. If you're interested in circling back to go learn more about it, I did cover an episode of Cursed Episodes forever ago. But Ghost Watch is a must for mockumentary. It's spooky, it's creepy, it's emotional, it's unique, and it's just a lot of fun. And I love that movie so much. So the next one you guys probably are so sick of hearing me talk about, and that's Savage Land. I've probably said Savage Land on every found footage list I've talked about. I recently got to talk on Real Talk about my top 10 found footage movies. And while I was there, this, of course, came up because I think Savage Land is such a powerful mockumentary because in addition to being scary and creative and just so well done across the board, it has a lot to say that is still even more so relevant now than it was when this came out in 2018. And it's just such an incredible film, and it's such a unique take on found footage because the entire film is done as a mockumentary style, and the things that are going on aren't done through film in the traditional sense. The evidence and the scary is through photographs. And it's just a really unique, scary, heavy hitter for mockumentary style found footage. And I will always bring it up when I get to talk about found footage on any level, because it is just so, so, so good. So if you are new here and you've never heard me talk about Savage Land, you've never heard of it, I hope this will be the last little motivator that you need to go check it out, because it's fucking incredible. The next one I have talked about, it doesn't go into my top 10 list typically, mostly because I kind of forget about it sometimes, but that's going to be Noroi the Curse. If you haven't seen this is another one it's kind of up there with me, for me, with like Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. So anything international horror and found footage, you can like sign me up. I'm going to want to watch it. But this is done as a mockumentary style in a way that it kind of combines a lot of different things. So there's like interviews, there's captured videos, there's like a talk show, game show. There's a bunch of different elements all telling about this specific story. And without giving too much of the lore away, it's very lore heavy. It is kind of a longer film, but it's worth it. And it has an interesting story to tell, and it's got some pretty spooky moments. And when I watched it for the first time, I couldn't believe it had taken me so long to watch it, because it's been out for a while. But if you haven't seen Noroi, I believe it's streaming on a couple of different places, but you should definitely watch it if you haven't seen it yet. This one's another repeat. I'm sorry. These are just certain films I just can't stop talking about. So I'm a massive Horror in the High Desert fan. I think it's an incredible franchise. I can't believe we're this many movies in, and it's still such a strong experience every time. So I love all three that I've seen so far. But the one that's on this list is Horror in the High Desert 2, Minerva. So Minerva is kind of split into two stories about two different women. And it's a very, I would say, much faster, more scary pace than the first Horror in the High Desert, where we get Gary's story and we kind of learn about him. This one is spooky in a lot of different ways, and the footage is weird. And it took what was uncomfortable about one and it multiplied it by like a million. And I think Minerva, footage wise, is the scariest of the franchise so far, because it's definitely, like I said, it's faster paced, but it's just got some shots. There's a car scene that's really, there's a scene where I think he's a firefighter volunteer or something, but he goes into one of the mine type areas in the desert, and there's some crazy stuff. It's just, Dutch is such a great creator of atmosphere, and the shots that he gets that really just elevate the experience they're mind-blowing. And so this was a great example of that. And it's actually spooky, which, not all found footage movies that I like are, I would say, completely scary. I mean, I didn't find Ghostwatch to be overwhelmingly scary. Savage Land was scary on a social level, not in the same way. Noroi was pretty scary, but Minerva really just elevates the experience from the first Horror in the High Desert. And it just really cemented my love for the franchise, and I'm so impressed with what Dutch is able to do with film. So the last one that I'm going to talk about for this list is the one that kind of made me decide to do this list for this week. And I just watched it. It just came out. It's from the creators of, or some of the team from behind Grave Encounters, and that's Strange Harvest. This is all over social media right now. Every time I get on my phone and I scroll, somebody's talking about this movie, and for good fucking reason. If you are a fan of the Poughkeepsie tapes, if you are a fan of Seven, I would even go as far as to say, if you're a fan of the Leslie Vernon film, which I was not, because it's more comedy, it's just a little for me, but this covers so many different things. And I walked into this relatively blind. I'd seen the teaser trailer with the girl in her room where she screams when she sees something and she runs back. And it's like, it doesn't show a whole lot because I just watched the teaser for it. So this is done in mockumentary style. So there's these interviews with cops and witnesses and all these things. So in the first 15-ish minutes of the film, you get to the first crime scene. And if that moment does not make your eyes widen, maybe your jaw drop a little bit, and really make you pay attention, I have no words, because this was an insane experience. It's brutal, it's bloody, it's psychological, it's emotional. I mean, there were parts in this that had me like almost in tears. It's so well done. It's dark, it's fucked up. And the stuff that they were able to do with this and how realistic they made these things look, I am just. And there's like a little bit, I don't know if it's meant to be a twist, maybe it's not, but there's like kind of a shift in some things that happen like right at the end that I did not expect. That was a really fun surprise and just really elevated this for me. And I'm telling you, it's still $10 to rent, which I'm like, I hate $10 rentals. I need them to come back down to like the $3 to $5 range. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so it's still a $10 rental as of the time that I'm recording this. It's worth every penny. It's so good. I wish I had known that, or I wish I had felt confident I was going to like it this much, because I would have just bought it, because it's only $4 more to buy. I think this is an incredible film. And when I think about Grave Encounters, I'm like, damn, if they had this budget when they did Grave Encounters, maybe we wouldn't be getting this stupid ass remake that they're about to do. I need Justin Long out of my found footage movies. Anyway, so that's my list. Ghost Watch, Savage Land, Roy the Curse, Horror in the High Desert 2, Minerva, and Strange Harvest. Now, I'm being mindful of what I say about Strange Harvest, because Mike and I are going to do a full review on Strange Harvest next week, the episode that will release on Halloween. We're going to do it as a premiere episode. It's going to come out on midnight Thursday. But I wanted to mention that because if you're very interested in our thoughts and you would like early access, we do have a tier on our Patreon. It's only $6. And you have plenty of time to still sign up for it. You get the access, you get 2-day early access to every Found Footage Friday episode that we put out. So that's really all I had for this episode. I just wanted to kind of, just take a minute and rethink about these mockumentaries, because I've been blown away with what people are doing with these. And the fact that you can sit there and watch these films, knowing to an extent that they're fiction, but then questioning it and being like, or having to remind yourself that it's fiction so it doesn't upset you as much. But this was wild. Strange Harvest is really good. Everything I watched. Lake Mungo is another one. All of the Horror in the High Deserts. Anything horror, mockumentary, Poughkeepsie tapes, sign me up, because they are just so well done. They're upsetting, they're brutal, and they're just a very cool take on the found footage subgenre of horror. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on this episode of Found Footage Fridays. We really hope to see you in the comments tomorrow for the first annual Stake Your Crypt Awards. You will not want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're celebrating indie creators across the board, content creating, book creators, and film. So we hope to see you guys there. Have a great rest of your Found Footage Friday. Have a good weekend, and Mike and I will see you next week.